on Cosmic Confluence podcast, listeners, we are not chasing quick fixes or perfect, super positive mindsets. We are listening for the subtle currents beneath our thoughts. Now, if I can use an analogy here, if consciousness is a river, most of us only skim the surface. The conscious mind that plans and performs. But under the surface, the subconscious holds patterns, vows, and old maps. And beyond both, the superconscious, call it intuition, sometimes deja vu, higher intelligence, or inner guidance, it keeps trying to send signals upstream. Our guest, listeners, Barbara Palmer, certified health and executive life coach, brain based practitioner, and also author of Healthy, Happy, Whole, has spent decades helping leaders rewire what no longer serves them and install beliefs that do. So, today on this episode, with your host, Sana, we'll be exploring how to align all these three layers of mind, the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious, so action feels less like forcing and more like a flow, not magic, but through method, not bypassing, brave, conscious noticing. So take a breath and let's wade in. So, Barbara, welcome to the show. And as always, it's every time an honor to have you here with us.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to our conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Barbara, our brains are, we as a human beings, I think there is so much yet to explore. As I've many a times I've heard, listened, people kind of, creating that connection that how we have our own cosmos within us.
Yeah.
And when we talk about brain, we mostly talk about conscious and then subconscious as well. But then there is the third layer in there, the superconscious. And sometimes we cannot explain the, reasons or the the logic behind the decisions or thoughts or actions that we do. So when you say the superconscious communicates with conscious and subconscious, what does that look like in practice? And how do you differentiate it from wishful thinking?
Well, it's easy to recognize the difference between superconscious, conscious, and the subconscious. In that, I think I'll start by just describing just briefly our conscious mind. Where when we're actively thinking of something, we're using that part, but that part is only about, between 5 and an eighth of all of the consciousness that we have available. The subconscious uh, is going 24/7. So whether we're aware or not, the subconscious is at work. So the subconscious, think of this subconscious as that part of ourselves that is on automatic. And so that we don't have to consciously, focus on things that would otherwise make living very complicated, very challenging. It's like all of our bodily systems are run by the subconscious. So as well as memories, all of our memories, different stages of our lives, and from the time we were conceived, we have different compartments as far as memories. It's believed that we have three compartments of memories. One compartment, for uh, from conception until birth. Another compartment that is like right before birth up until maybe around the age of 7. And then there's a third compartment that is like from our birth until now, and it just continues to be a part of our active experience. But the reality is that all of the memories are impacting us, uh, and those are in the subconscious. Superconscious is an aspect of ourselves that knows all of what I just told you, as far as the conscious as well as what's going on in the subconscious, and it sees the connections between our thinking, our feelings, our behavior, and what is activated in our body as well as our energetic systems, which could be within the body, outside of the body, but around it, um, as well as if there is something that we want to change, we can consciously think of it and make a decision, but the ability to make the changes that need to happen on the subconscious level, really, we need something to help us bridge between the conscious and the subconscious because otherwise there's all this activity that's going on that we don't see, but the superconscious does. So think of it as a part of ourselves that is there to help us to bridge the gap when we consciously want to make changes.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we encounter resistance. A lot of times when we wanna do something new because it's our brains are wired for survival, not thriving.
Yeah,
So, superconscious is there to help us to thrive and not just survive.
that's a surprise. Hmm. I think that could be. I think this is actually the simplest way to, kind of differentiate between all the three different layers, especially subconscious and superconscious. And I think this is some kind of, the superconscious, especially, it's kind of gathering data from the body's nervous system. And when we talk about reprogramming here, and because you, Barbara, you use neuroscience based tools, like we have heard of map and then transformational imagery. How do we engage the subconscious without overwhelming it, especially for high achievers, or sometimes we talk about A-type personalities who
Mhm.
default to sprint mode.
Yeah. Um, I guess the best thing I could say on that is regardless of what our personality type is or what our strengths might be, um, you know, there are areas where if we're honest with ourselves, where we know it's challenging for us. No, it's where maybe we have a habit or a way of showing up that we ourselves want to change. we we know how we come across. We know, it's like and we may want to change that, but we have difficulty making those changes. That's when you know that on a subconscious level there is something reinforcing that pattern and just trying to make a change, even using things like affirmations and meditation and some other things where uh you can tell that we're like a rubber band. It's where a person can feel like they make some progress and they stretch towards this new version of themselves, and then it snaps back. And that's where techniques like MAP, where you engage the superconscious as that part of us that actually has the ability to treat, to heal, to rewire, to integrate, so that it's not. this ongoing challenge where an area that a person wants to make a change in, they see progress. It's like two steps forward and then three back. You know, um, it helps to have that superconscious involvement so that we're actually making progress and we continue to make progress and without the uh, reverting back to a pattern. Because with the superconscious involved, the old pattern is uh, is revised, it's updated.
Oh,
And when without the superconscious involved, we're basically trying to uh, refigure what is going on in the subconscious, but doing it from the conscious mind.
got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So I think less willpower, more wise dosing. Like instead of framing it as grinding, it's like it's in sync. Like, it's kind of in
Yes.
easy.
Yeah. It's integrated. It's like it's a part of you. It's a part of you that its job is to do this integration and to help you to thrive. That's what it's there for. It's like it's there so that each of us can be the best version of ourselves. So imagine that being a part of its existence is okay, I'm here so that you can be all you are created to be. I'm here to help you with that. And to ignore that part, the conscious mind has an uphill battle trying to get the subconscious to make a turn, to make a change. If there is all this stuff that you're not aware of that is resisting making a change. That makes sense?
It does. It does, Barbara.
Yeah. And that's why I love helping people to understand that the superconscious aspect of themselves because it's like it's the most powerful part of you. And it's like get acquainted with that part of you and learn how to tap into that aspect of your being that knows what you're thinking consciously, but it also knows what is connected to what you're thinking, you know, that knows what's connected to how you feel when you start to feel triggered, when you start to feel anxious, when you start to get happy. It's like regardless of what the state of being is that might be triggered or associated with certain thought patterns,
Mm-hmm.
your superconscious can follow all of that. And it also recognizes when there are patterns that they may feel true, but they're based on lies,
Mm-hmm.
but they feel true just because they have been repeated so many times, and so it feels true. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Got it. I know, Barbara, because I think this is sometimes, few certain aspects of how exactly a person may behave, think, or what exactly is happening behind. I think sometimes it is better explained, when it's done through actions. So definitely, I think if you know we at least understand or acknowledge that yes, um, consciously it is not our fault. Maybe this is some kind of rewiring is required. First of all, we have to acknowledge that it is possible. It is not that it has been kind of ingrained within us. So I think that itself like opens the door for so many new possibilities.
It
Um,
really does.
yeah. Yeah.
It and actually, to me, it's exciting. However, um, the reality is that for many people, it sounds like something that is. It's almost like something to another thing to be afraid of, but
Mm.
that's the way our brain is. It's designed to help us survive. It's like, so you've got this brain that is doing its job. However, there's another aspect of our being that has a higher intelligence, and it's
Mm.
there to guide us, to help us, to let go of things that, it served its purpose maybe in your childhood, but it's not helping you, as an adult. Like, there may be, just belief systems and patterns that you have that are actually, coming from the little girl or little boy version of you, you
Mhm.
know? And now you have this additional understanding about things, and you want to be able to do new things and tap into your creativity and your innovation. You can't be very creative or innovative when you're afraid to do something different, when you're afraid to do something that maybe no one else has done before. You have a unique thought. You imagine doing things in a unique way. Uh, the fear-based response, the fight or flight, is real, but it's a part of that old system of operating, and there is a an update, an upgrade that's available, by way of the superconscious.
Yeah. Yeah. And also let's talk about healing also, Barbara. How do you prevent consciousness work, from becoming like a bypass, like using higher perspective to avoid any grief, trauma work, or accountability? Like,
Because yeah, that's a great question, but the reality is, uh, our we are so say fearfully and wonderfully made. We might be able to pretend and convince one another about stuff, but
okay.
you you can't fool your subconscious. You cannot fool
Mhm.
your superconscious for sure. Can't fool it. So
Shit.
it's almost like a joke. It's like that sounds like something that a little kid would say. It's like or would think that that's possible. And and honestly, I think it comes from that little kid part of us. It's like, nah, I don't believe I don't believe that. But the truth is, we actually have like an inner knowing, the aspect of ourselves that, like I tell people, the real you is the part of you that is aware, is noticing what you feel, whether it agrees with it or not. The part of you that even um, pushes you on, nudges you on when you feel like quitting something that really is in your best interest. It's a part of you that will say you can do this. There's a part of you that won't allow you to give up on yourself. That same part of you is intelligent enough to know when if your motives are out of alignment, you will not have peace.
Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. That is interesting. And I think, mm, I mean, limits have to be acknowledged here. I mean, definitely there have to be some boundaries or some checkpoints. Like, when once again, if we come back to the blend between science and spirituality, like, when client's nervous system, it needs clinical care alongside coaching.
Yeah.
So, uh, like, what's your thought on that? Like, many people, they would say that no, no, you don't need any kind of attention, medical attention here, or this and that. It can be solved through just this particular tool. But do you think that, we can consciously decide that at this point of time, my healing would need myself to be there, kind of the center of attention, and I would need a tool, something like map or some kind of, healing process. And then I would also need clinical care as well here. So like complementary.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Um, what comes to mind is the fact that each of us is our highest authority. I know sometimes we give our power away. We want somebody else to make decisions for us as it relates to our health and other aspects of our lives. Um, but if you think of yourself, or and for me, regardless of what is going on in my life, when it comes to finding solutions, I may talk to other people, and I'm giving this as an example of what, you know, uh, is the same process for all of us, is
Mhm.
even though I may talk to other people and get input from other people, ultimately the decisions are made by me.
Exactly.
And I, so the consequences belong to me. And so I get to decide if I want a blend. I get to decide if I want traditional medicine along with homeopathic medicine, along with some prayer, along with some meditation, along with some coaching. I get to decide if I want to include talking to a therapist or a counselor about something. Um, I get to make those decisions because ultimately they're the this is my life.
Mhm.
So, uh, and I do believe, as it relates to things spiritually speaking, that our creator, has given each of us a will. So we get to, uh, decide what we want. It's like yay or nay. Do I want this? Yes. Do I want this? No. And even if I do want this, what am I expecting? If I say I want something, but I'm really not expecting it, you know, the way that uh, the way we're put together, you might try to, you can't fool the higher aspect of who you are. You can't do it because it sees and knows based on your state of being, what you really it's gonna respond to how you show up for yourself, how you really feel about things as it relates to how things impact you.
True, true. That's very well put, Barbara. So once again, it's a ritual, Barbara. I have to ask for book.
Wow, the time has flown.
I think it's such an interesting discussion. I think it will take days and hours and time to, and that's exactly why it's kind of a beauty, that there are so many things to explore around, either it's our brain or body or um, our consciousness or even the nature. And I think that's why it kind of it's a cosmos within itself. So,
Yeah.
Barbara, if listeners they would like to explore more about how you use map and other tools and transformational imagery and how you help people to actually explore themselves super consciously, what would be the easiest way?
The easiest way would be for them to visit my website and schedule a discovery strategy session. It's a complimentary 30-minute session, and that's at bplifecoaching.com. And there's
Right.
also, excuse me, uh,
Yeah.
scratch that. It's B. It's vplifecoach.com. We simplified it and made it shorter.
Super, super. So, listeners, I'll have all the details in the show notes, and please connect with Barbara. Um, y- Check out how she helps, leaders and high achievers, and everyone out there, to know themselves in a much better way. Um, and also, I think she also reminds us that alignment isn't about being perfect. It's about listening long enough to change course, maybe by a few honest degrees. And that's how ships and lives arrive. So, in this cosmic confluence, if you have, this conversation has stirred something within you, maybe you can try, you know, like tools. Maybe you can try journaling or, try something that really works for you. Take some baby steps out there. And also do make sure to connect with Barbara. And until next time, stay curious, stay gentle, and let your inner rivers meet the stars. Until then, this is Cosmic Confluence with Sana signing off.